Because we normally knit stitches through the back loop when we use the Russian knitting style, to make a twisted stitch we should work it through the front loop. So we insert the tip of the right needle from left to right into the stitch, pick the yarn, pull it through and slip the stitch off. So we do the same thing as we do when we knit stitches using the classic continental knitting style, but we get twisted knit stitches in the Russian knitting as a result. Things get a bit more unusual when we want to make a twisted purl stitch in the Russian knitting style. To make the same twist on the purl side of the work, we should purl the stitch through the back loop, but not this way, not like we do in the classic knitting, but we should purl it from over here. And this involves a pretty complicated maneuver with the needle and the yarn, so it's not really comfortable at all. An easier way would be to twist the stitch first and then purl it using the regular Russian purling. So bring the yarn to the front of the work and then insert the tip of the right needle from left to right into the stitch, slip it from the left needle, then return it back purlwise without twisting it again, and pick the yarn and purl the stitch as we normally do when we use the Russian knitting style. Let's do it again. So the yarn is at the front. We go from left to right into the stitch, slip it from the left needle. Then we return it back to the left needle, but make sure that you do not remove the needle, the right needle, from the stitch, because it will take extra time, extra milliseconds. To make it even more efficient, then keep the right needle in the stitch and then simply pick the yarn as soon as the stitch is returned to the left needle. So we go into the stitch, slip it, return it and purl it right away. Slip, return and purl. Slip, return and purl. This is pretty easy and not as complicated as going through that stitch from the leg that is not really even seen from this side of the work. So as a result, we get a beautiful fabric that is made of twisted stitches, and if you take a closer look at this fabric, you will see that the stitches made using the Russian knitting style are twisted to the right, as opposed to the stitches that are twisted in the classic knitting style. These are slanting to the left. And this is the only way that we can tell whether the fabric is knitted using the Russian way or the classic way once the project is finished. An even easier way to make twisted stitches in Russian knitting is to start working in the round. This and many other features of the Russian knitting style are explained in a detailed online course at tenroseday.com/Russian-knitting. Happy knitting, my friend. I'll talk to you in the next tutorial.